So we're getting into December, and I figured we'd get into the kind of festive spirit by flipping some holiday vinyl. Last week I got a new record player, and I went to a local record store and got some vinyl. And I did grab a couple of Christmas albums, or I should say my wife grabbed a couple Christmas albums, but I figured, hey, that's a good time as any to flip some Christmas albums. And I have one of my favorite bands, Thrice, their lead singer did a Christmas album, and I have that one on vinyl, which is this vinyl right. Let me put it here, actually, this one. And I stem split it. So if you watch the video from last week, it's right on my channel if you head there, if you haven't seen it yet. I like to throw vinyl, at least while I'm getting into vinyl sampling, through Logic so I can stem split, so I can kind of separate it. Maybe it's cheating, but it's just a little more fun to kind of get the exact sound I want. So I have the guitar from that track, and I just have a short loop of it. There's actually a couple chords, so we'll chop that up with auto chop. I have the bass, which hopefully you can hear. I know it's a little bit at low end. And then we've got this. Oh, actually, that's from a different album, but we have these drums. And that'll be our little Christmas sound right there. And then we've got a couple little chops from this Perry Como album. You can hear the artifacting in that stem split. I was surprised because usually Logic's pretty good with the stem splits, but you can hear that. We have this vocal, and then lastly we have, if I can find the vinyl, this Julie Andrews album, and I just took this little orchestral part, and that I think is going to be our start point. And I'm going to go through pitching. I did repitch all of these, and I'm going to explain kind of how I go about repitching, because you'll see some are at 2, some are at 4, so we'll go over that later, but let's actually just get started. We'll need to put some drums down first, so I think what we'll do is go into TR Rec mode, and we'll just hit TR Rec mode. Let's not do any shuffle yet. We're just going to do a really simple beat, and we'll do 4 bars and see how we get on from there. So let's go to that kick. We're just going to put it on 1 9 1 9 1 9 1 9, and then let's get to, whoop, did not mean to do that. Let's get over to the snare. And we'll probably change this later. I might actually, real quick, while we have this running, let's go in and we'll change the start time of a few of these snares. Let's get it pretty off. And we'll go here, and we'll put this one a little early. We could obviously record these in manually, but it's kind of fun to get it this way. So all I'm doing is I'm holding shift and I'm changing the start time. And we're just going to do that. Let's see, we need this one too. I like to do a little bit late, a little bit early, to just make it kind of sound a little more human. And then we're going to keep this one right where we're at on grid, so that it's like perfect there. So we've got that. Okay, that should work perfectly. Let's get in and we'll manually record some of those tambourines. And I'm thinking we might 16 velocity it. Let's go in. Let's record, switch back to remain or real time, and let's do a grid of 8. We'll see how this goes. And I'm going to put it to rehearsal once we get there. And all I'm going to do is hold shift, go to 2, which is 16 velocity. Actually, I like that. Let's do that. That should work perfectly. Okay, now let's find, we're going to start with that Julie Andrews sample. And we can lower this one. And I think we'll change those drums around a little bit. I just, rather than a click, I like having kind of the foundation of the beat we're going to go with, and then we can kind of expand on it. So let's start with this. Go to chromatic mode. Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's record that. Let's get in and try that. I like that. We'll do just a kind of 2-chord thing. See how that goes. Oh, I forgot we're at 3. We're doing 4 bars, so we have to do those other 2 real quick. But we can hear what it sounds like. So I'm ending at a couple little different times in those 2 samples, because since we're doing chromatic mode, I want to see I want to have some variation in those samples. So if you listen, I'm not always taking it off at the same exact time. That one rings out a little longer, and things like that, because I'm thinking we're going to add some kodama. Well, we don't want the drums on bus 1 though, so let's put those on bus 2, and then we'll go and see how that sounds. Let's try dotted 8th. No, I actually like that quarter. Yeah, that sounds perfect. So without it, that's kind of cool too though, the abruptness. And we could also, if we want that to ring out a little bit, one thing we could do is go into the envelope and just add a little release, just a little, so that every time we pull off, hear how it kind of rings out. Like, let's up the release a lot. See how it just keeps going? If I put the release to 0, it cuts as soon as I get off, it chokes. But if we set just a little release, it's gonna ring out a little bit. Let's hear what that sounds like. Let's add a little more. Not that much. Okay, I like that. Now, the reason I already kind of repitched is because I wanted to get them all in the same key. So I come from live instruments, so I kind of have an ear for the live sound, or the getting pitch right. But you basically just want things to sound good when they play together. You don't necessarily need them to be the exact same chord or anything like that. So you can hear these guitars are right, just like, see, it sounds good. But let's take this one and put the pitch down to, let's say, 5. It's okay. That's actually pretty nice too. You can hear that one's a bit unpleasant. Frank's in the chat. What's going on? How you doing, Frank? So that's why you want to just kind of mess around with the pitch until everything kind of gels together. And I did this off camera just because it was a bit easier to just do it, and it's a little boring, but all you want to do is just find those sounds that are pleasant. So these 2 work well together, so we did that. Before we move to the next sample though, I want to change up the drums just a little bit. And I have another drum that I think when we get the track moving, we're going to switch to. That's kind of like the intro drum, but I think we'll use these drums when we're ready to kind of switch. Let's go into TR Rec mode, and you can just hit Shift Record to get right into it. And not that one, we want to go to this one. Why is that one still there? Let's see. There we go. Okay, and I like, let's try that. Let's put that one there. Jacqueline says, can't wait for my 404 to get here. Awesome. Oh, Frank, you use Reason 11? That's awesome. I use Reason. I have 12. I haven't used it in a while, but I still have all of my old like patches, so I use that. Ever since they added the ability to put it in other DAWs, I still use the patches for stuff. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Okay, so we're going to drop this velocity a little bit. And I want to change some of these other velocities too. And let's actually put like a little ghost snare right here. That should work. Okay, I like that. Let's do it a little louder though. I like that 8 actually for those ghosts. kicks. And let's put on 2, 1 there. Maybe on 4 actually. Oh, I like that 10. Let's get that there. Let's put 1 there too. 1 there, 1 on 10. And then we're gonna do a little, bring it up a bit. Let's see how that sounds. Now what I wish we had was probability like on the P6, because I would definitely add some probability to these kicks at the end. But I think that works. Let me see, we got another chat. Sorry, I have my microphone right there. Jacqueline says, sounds smooth. Appreciate it. Frank asks, what BPM do your samples in? I don't worry about BPM when I bring the samples in, because I'm doing chops, and like with this main sample that we're doing, when we go into chromatic mode, the BPM of the sample is changing with every pitch change. So I'm just kind of making it work. That's why at the start I kind of let go at different spots. I like that wonkiness some of that brings. I mean, you could, there's another way to do sampling when you're in, you can change it between doing speed and pitch or just one of those two. There are more artifacts when you do it that way, so I don't like doing it that, but you could like chop individual, like I could re-pitch this across a couple notes and then do it that way instead of doing it in chromatic mode, but I like that little bit grittier sound that it's getting. Curtis is in the chat. What's going on, Curtis? Okay. Oh, let's put this panned. And I'm thinking we're actually going to go in to these hi-hats, and I'm going to put some quieter ones on the 1. That might be too quiet, actually. Let's go a little louder. Maybe let's try like 60. Oh, I kind of like changing it like that. Let's do that. All right, and then we'll go to the last one. Maybe we could do a substep on this. Let's see what happens if we do a substep on this one. Let's hear what happens with the substep. I like it. I just want it quieter. Let's do like 25. And let's make sure we shut substep off. Let's hear it one last time. Yeah, it's just kind of there in the background. Okay, last thing, we'll go into the snare. And I want to get some... We have a lot of ghost kicks, but let's get some ghost snares. And then we'll start layering some other vinyl. And we'll talk kind of what to look for when you layer vinyl, because they're all different pitches, right? They're all different keys, and you want to find parts that fit. But let's just get a couple little ghost snares on this track. So we're going to go to the snare. We're going to drop the volume a lot. We're going to take it off too. I meant to do that with the kicks, but I'm too lazy to do it now, so we'll do it with these. So we'll just put some kind of around the snares. Let's see what that's... Let's hear what that sounds like one more time. Yeah, I like that. And we can kind of change the velocity once in a while just to add a little more. Yeah, that works. Okay, and we'll put one on 16 and really quiet one on 12 there. And we could also up the pitch on these, but that's all right. I'm probably going overboard on the ghost snares to start. But I like that real subtle sound where it just kind of adds a little momentum and gets you kind of moving. Okay, let's check what Codemod does on... Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's hear what we can get with these guitars. So we're going to need to move these guitars to an empty bank because we're going to chop it. So I'm actually going to put it... Actually, we don't need to do that. What we'll do is actually just start by chopping it, and then we'll move the chops to that empty bank. Let's go here. So we can probably get away with just auto chopping it. So let's go to... we actually need to hit shift chop, so we can do chop. Auto mark, let's do a time division of 4, and it should just do it right on each of the peaks. Perfect. Okay, let's throw that onto assign to pad, and we're going to go to this empty one. Okay, that should work. So now we'll see how it works with the track. Okay, let's play the track. I actually think... Let's put these on bus 2, because I don't want the delay on bus, or on these sounds. And we're going to add that little envelope trick. If we put some release, when I let go, it will ring out. And then one thing we're going to do is do that by end hold remain, so that this whole bank is getting that. And we may regret that later, but we'll see. And I'm just going to fix this one. Has a little kind of like a pick sound at the start. That's better. All right, let's stick with that. And we're going to drop the volume. I just kind of want this in the background. Maybe just the 2 chords. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, let's get that in. We're gonna quantize this to quarter. I think that'll be best. I'm checking out what this hi-hat can do. Kind of want to put that in, but let's actually... I like that first guitar chord. I'm not sure how I feel about that second one. I think we're just going to go in, though, and drop the volume. Okay. I actually don't even know if we need another kick, but I like that. Let's also check out what we've got with this little vocal sound. And oh, this piano could work well. Let's hear it with the track playing. Okay, I think we'll chop that up and we can get something interesting there. I'm kind of just throwing sounds at the wall first to see what sticks, and then slowly we take it back and build a track out like that. That's usually when it comes to kind of finding how these vinyl layers or layers of vinyl work. That's like my best way to do it, is just kind of throw it all in, see what sticks, and then you can just kind of take it back and move things around. I think we'll also, we have a bass, but we might build a bass in Sound Generator. because I can't help myself. I always have to do sound generator. I want to chop this one up now. So let's go here and let's see if we can do an auto mark. Maybe a transient of mid. Let's see what it picks up. That's way too many. Let's try again. Let's do maybe soft. See what it picks up now. That's a really nice sound, actually. But I think actually what we'll just do is move this over here, and we'll just do some little manual chops. All the way. We're just going to get that single sound. I wish that little vocal remnant wasn't there. That should work. Okay, let's copy it one more time and find one more little chord we can get. But that should work. I like that. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, move this back. Frank asks, what's your usual BPM on samples? I don't know what you mean, like what BPMs I look for from samples. I think I mentioned already, I don't worry about BPM when I'm sampling in because we're going to chop up and all that type of stuff. So I'm not too worried about any BPM. I set this to 84, but that's just my own internal, what I want, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers your question, but let me know, Frank, if it's something else. Let's get that chord. Now we could have done this in the chop section and just done our own marks, but I like doing it this way sometimes, just to kind of more hands-on approach. Okay, that should work, and then one more. And then we might need to do some normalizing. Just a lot of nice little piano chords. Okay, let's hear. Oh, those two notes are the same. Let's actually get a different note then, or chord. I actually want both of those, I think. That one is so short though, right? Like, and we even missed some of the, or we have too much of the intro. Okay, perfect. And let's move one more. We'll get one more. And then let's see what we've got. I want that last note. Maybe that one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, you know what we could do? I don't know why it's like choking on that, but what I'm thinking is we could do... What if we do gate? Shut off the gate. Frank, this is the SP404 Mark II. It's in the title too, if you want to check it out. I think there's a, if you go to the description, you can check out, I have links to it in at my website, which is in the description, all the gear that I use. What I want to try though here, I shut off the gate because I want to try the 16 velocity trick. It was choking itself up when I had gate on, which like anytime you release it stops, but that might actually work if we do it that way. Let's go back. Okay, maybe we do 2 different notes. Let's try that. Let's just see. I was kind of thinking something like that Roy G. Biv from Boards of Canada, but now I'm thinking something different. So let's just see what happens if we do what we do not want more than 4 bars. Let's go here. We'll go to maybe a grid of 8, and let's turn that on. This will be a different chord. Okay, I almost like leaving bars 2 and 4 without a piano sound, but let me just see if this chord works. Let's just try it, but that does work. So I do kind of like that chord there, but I almost like the dynamics of having that part hit first and then not having it in bars 2 and 4. Oh, I have an idea though, actually. Hold on, I want to try one other thing. Yeah, we'll go in reverse in bar 4, so it kind of leads into it. Which pad, Curtis? Because these are all Christmas vinyls, so I don't know which pad you're talking about. Okay, I'm going to record in on just bar 4. There we go. Did it record that? I didn't hear it. Let's hear it again. Yeah, now it recorded because I can see the undo over here. There it is. Okay, perfect. Okay. So I like that. One last thing before we kind of move to a B section, or at least a dropout, is a bass. So we do have a bass sound here, which is very stem split or artifacty from the stem split. We can try to add a couple sounds and resample it, or we can just make a sound in Sound Generator. I kind of like the idea of sticking with just the vinyl for this one though. So let's just see what happens. We have this on bus 1, so let's put maybe, let's try what? Lo-fi or warm saturator? Let's do warm saturator. You can hear all that, like, the transient of the guitar and the drums in the artifact, and you can hear that a little bit, but that's okay. Because we probably just need that one note. And then let's throw on chorus. I'm a big fan of the Juno chorus. We'll take off the noise though. Okay. Hopefully you guys are hearing this. I apologize if you're not. Let me know in the chat. That should help. Let's take down a little distortion. Actually, let's try a filter with some resonance. That should add, without the LFO on it. Okay, let's just try resampling that and then we'll see what happens. And no, I still have not updated past 4.04, so we may get the resample bug, but that's all right. We'll just redo it if it does do that. I'm going to record everything through, but I think we only need that first note. That should work. Let's hear it. We got to shut off bus 3 and 4. We will put bus 3 and 4 back on soon, though. Hear the difference? I mean, I don't even know if you can hear this if you're on like a phone. But with all those sounds we added, we definitely got some higher end into it. So let's just get that one sound from here, that first note. We can go all the way to the end of this waveform. That should work. And then we'll just go into the envelope, add a little attack because there's that click. We might actually even in the start end, we can just, oh, look at that. We can just adjust to like there. And then since we have this attack, that'll smooth out that. Perfect. And then we'll just add a little release. Again, this is becoming one of my favorite tricks on the SP with samples, because just adding some release when you let go, it just gives a little, you can see the tail. When I let go, there's a line that just keeps going. Whereas if I let it to 0, when I take it off, it just disappears. So having a little release just lets it kind of ring out, almost like you're sustaining on a guitar or something like that. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like with this track. Ooh, I already like it. Kind of like doing a little bit of a chromatic run, but I don't know. I do like that bass sound though. That sounds pretty good. So we'll throw that in, and I also want to get this snare on there just to kind of crisp up, because that other snare has like no high end, right? So we'll just get a little bit of high end back with that snare. If I had a clap, that would be ideal, but we don't have a clap. I'm just thinking if we could make one with sound gen or something, but that's all right. So we'll just go from there. Let's get that bass in there, and let's set the quantize kind of high, but we'll keep it at 8. Yeah, I'm gonna redo that actually. Where is undo? Okay, so we have the first 2 notes. I just had to listen in where those first 2 were. Okay, and let's change the release a little bit. Okay, that was close, but it's not quite there, so I'm gonna go into TR rec mode and just delete all of those. We could also just copy the pattern, but that's fine. So we'll just go into TR rec mode, and then I'm gonna go to that bass. I'm just gonna redo it. We could make tweaks in here, but that's okay. Oh, did I just undo the wrong track? I think I just did the wrong track, didn't I? I did. That's okay. That one's easy to redo. That's the beauty of live, I suppose. Okay, let's let me go in and delete that bass actually, and then we'll redo that part. That's why I typically like to keep copying the pattern, and I didn't do it this time. And look at what happened, but that's cool. All right, we're gonna go into TR-Rec mode. I'm going to delete those bass lines, and actually the bass lines this time, 3. But we can actually kind of hear what those other parts are doing. Okay, should be pretty easy to record that part again. I say that, but we'll see. Let's put on, it should be quarters, but let's just do the eighths just in case. And I forgot again that it's 4 bars, but we got this. There's one note in there that just sounds a little off time, so let's go in to TR-Rec mode again because I want to check out what's going on. So it's probably this one. This is when I wish we could just do like the P6 and just change things around. But we can't, and I don't want to figure out what the pitch is and stuff. I actually kind of like it being a little off and wonky, so I think we'll just leave it at that. That's totally fine. Okay, so last thing before we do kind of a B section, let's just hear what this snare would sound like put in TR-Rec mode. I like it. Be nice with a little more reverb on it. We could resample the pad, but I think we'll stick with that. Okay, we got to get the bass back on. And maybe we stick with a little simpler bass just to see. I kind of like those fills and things, but sometimes simple is better. So let's go real time, and we'll quantize it a little bit more. So there's that little sound in the piano, that little hum. Maybe we can get out some of it. We'll just add a little release and a little attack, and that should help with the click. Let's hear. Hopefully that didn't like ruin the part, but I didn't like that hum because I'm planning to add this vocal sample on top. That works. It's a little quieter, a little more faint. Maybe we can normalize it. That might help if we normalize it. It might make it a little louder. I'm afraid to truncate it because if it will work loud. Like we could normalize it more if we truncate it, but I mean, I guess we always have the part. Here's what we'll do. We'll copy this over here, and then we'll truncate this. And the reason I'm going to truncate is I'm hoping that will let me normalize it louder. Normalize is bring it, yeah, you can see it brings whatever the loudest peak of it is to 0 or near 0. So that should, there we go. Yeah, I like that. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm thinking a cool little dropout could be with that vocal part. I hear it in my head. I have to try to figure out how we're going to get it to that part. First thing we'll do, though, we'll just make a copy so that we have our duplicate parts. Okay, I like that. So I'm thinking, let's start arranging the track, right? Let's think about arrangement as we build this, and then I'll try to make a little B section and see what's going on with it. So, and if anybody has any questions as I go, throw them in the chat. Basically, when it comes to the layering, I don't think I was explaining it as I was going through because I wanted to kind of build the track, but you're just trying to find parts that fit together, right? Like that piano part had a lot of artifacting and all that stuff, but we just need that little sound, right? Just that one little sound, a little piece of the puzzle, and all the little vinyl samples are pieces of the puzzle when we're putting the puzzle together. So this became kind of that little kind of echo in the background because our main sound is this string part. That's all we need to kind of be the basis. Let's actually normalize this as well. And then we'll probably need to change the volume. That's perfect. And we haven't even thrown on bus 3 and 4. That's going to be that special sauce that's going to bring it all together when we use cassette sim and compressor and all that stuff. But that's basically what we're getting at. You find little parts of each sample and combine them. And you have to think about pitch, right? Then that's what we've done. We found the pitch where all of them kind of correspond to sounding pleasant together. So for this one, that was my basis. It was pitch 2. So then we needed to find for the guitars, we went down 4. And these were also 2, so same key. Okay, let's, I don't know if we're going to want the Kodama on that one. This is where I wish we kind of had individual. It's like now that I've been working with the P6 so much, there's all these moments where I'm like, oh, I wish I had the individual send effects and this and that because we could get reverb and do all that, but we don't, so we have to work with what we've got. We have way more kind of control of each sample in the SP, but yeah, we don't get some of those send effects and things like that. Anyways, I'm thinking we'll start building our track. So when we copy a pattern, if we hit remain, we can choose what parts we want. I only want the strings for this first pattern. And then at the end, we'll add a little drum fill or something. Then we'll move this over and we'll hit remain. And I want that sound and the snare, but not that other snare. So the drums. And then we'll do a dropout. I'm going to copy this. I'm just thinking where we want our dropouts, and that's what we're building. The main path is going to be here. We'll do our alternates and dropouts on these pads, and then we'll make a B section up here. That's kind of my usual way if we're keeping with just kind of a simple amount of pads. Let's go into this one real quick, into TR rec mode, and we'll drop out at the end. All of these except those. We're going to leave those in. See what that sounds like. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna move this version that has the snare, that other snare, so it's a little louder, and we want the bass, and I think basically we'll just bring everything in here. Let's do that. We want everything we've got, the snare, and then those guitars. and those piano parts. Copy. Yeah, because I think we can do this dropout, right? Trigger this one. Okay, I do still want those bass fills, but I like having that part kind of start it. And then what I think we'll do is, let's go up here and we're going to record the bass part in, add those fills, and then we're going to make a dropout of the first part. So we're kind of just thinking of ways to keep this song interesting. And then I do want to build that B section. I keep talking about the B section. We will get there. Let's go here, and we're actually going to do real time because we want to do the bass. And this one. Ooh, okay. We need to shut off quantize. So we're going to copy that one more time. And now we're going to record on there. No quantize. So we probably need 16ths actually. That's perfect. Okay, so now what we'll do is move this one to here, and we're going to copy everything over, but what we're going to do is then go into TR rec mode and do those dropouts at the start. Let's see how much we want. Right, we need to do that other kick. I think we want a full bar off, not... Let's shut off all of these. And go back to here. Shut off that. Yeah, I like that. Apro20 says that's dope. Appreciate it. All right, so now we have that. So what I'm basically thinking is we build up. Right, we build up the track, we get to this part, and then we're going to trigger this one before we go into the B section. Maybe add some reverb or something. Ooh, I almost want to put a snare right at that, like right before we go into it, but that's fine. We'll leave it at that. Okay, next up, I'm trying to think. So what I'm basically hearing is drop kind of everything out in that first bar and have like the vocal section. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to move the B section down to 13. We're going to move everything over, figure out what our little vocal melody is with everything playing, and then we're going to figure out our dropouts and things like that. That's the one thing, like when you're working in a DAW, you see it all out in front of you. You can just do it. Now I'm trying to kind of take what's in my head and translate it to these pads and things like that. But I have an idea. We'll see if it works. We're going to go and do a real-time recording here. Not going to do any quantize yet. Rehearsal. Shut off the metronome. That's it. Okay. Let's record that. Can we get quantized? We can't when we're in here, but that's okay. Hopefully it'll take it. We'll see. No idea why that dropout happened. Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is for one of those dropouts, let's put it here for right now. We're going to go to remain. We're going to copy everything actually. I apologize. We're going to copy everything over, and then we're going to go into TR rec mode and basically take everything out but... Oh, we do not want that. We're not in TR rec mode. We want to be in TR rec mode. So hit remain. There we go. Okay, so we're going to shut off all of these for the first bar. Don't worry, that ringing is from the that main first sample. I think we have to, even with gate, it still rang out, huh? Let's see what happens. Okay, that might be too much taken off, but let's just see. There's a couple more things I want to get off there. We got to do the guitars. Let's see what happens like that. So I want to know why, even though this one is set to gate, it's ringing out once we let it go. That's strange. It shouldn't be doing that, because if we move from 13 to 15, you'll hear it, that chime just keeps going. Here, it's gonna happen right here. Oh, now it's not. Okay, I think we actually want the piano. I want everything but that vocal. And can we normalize it maybe? Let's see if we can normalize that. It should be louder. That's way louder. Okay, let's shut off the piano in that section. Okay, so last thing we need is kind of just a B section, or at least a pair back or something. So I'm thinking, let's just do maybe the bass, snare, guitar, and the pianos. How about that? Maybe we'll want the vocal melody, but I don't know. That vocal's so loud now after we normalized it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. There's a lot more I would probably do to kind of fine tune it and finesse it, but in terms of just kind of getting a track structure and just getting in the vibe for the holidays, I suppose, that sounds pretty good to me. So I think we're gonna call it there. Let's just kind of finish structuring the track, and if you have any questions, throw them in. I did see Koala added a synthesizer. We're going to talk about that next weekend, the next live stream. And I think I'll do a member stream just kind of checking out in the next couple of days. And all of these samples will be up tomorrow for all channel members. Usually samples are for Solar Sailor only, but in the spirit of the holidays, they're up for everybody. So if you do want to check out these vinyl samples, head over there. And then lastly, new shirt is out. This is the Spacebound t-shirt. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. But yeah, let's just kind of quickly figure out our structure. So we have just the kind of intro, the drums, which I'm thinking, ooh, I almost want bus 1 and 2 separate. Oh, and we got to add our special sauce, bus 3 and 4. So we're going to start with cassette. Let's get the track playing kind of. That's a lot, right? You can hear it's really compressing. Just drop a little bit of that drive. That should work. And then let's go over to this. Gotta get a poor man's sidechain upping comp to like a ton on the 303. We got cassette sim and 303. We don't need vinyl because our vinyl noise is from the actual vinyl. Lots of wow and flutter makes it pretty cool. I still think those vocals are too loud, man. That works. Okay. Alright, so we know that's our B section. Do we want like a little... Yeah, the one thing we'll do, we will go up to here. This is not my usual structure, but I mean, we're just going to roll with it for right now. We are going to do a dropout in this part, where we'll do at the end of it, we'll go in and drop all those drums out. Except the last one. We can shut off even the tambourine or whatever that is, the sleigh bells. Snare, shut that off. Okay, so that'll be kind of our lead into the chorus. That's still super compressed. Let's get into bus 3 and 4 again. I think we need to drop a little bit of the compressor on here. Let's hear how that sounds. One thing I just want to try real quick, we can't do sidechain, right? But we can just experiment if we add a little attack to the main sample. We can kind of emulate it. And can we up that kick actually too? Let's see. That kick is pumped up. Okay, so that's about it where we'll get with the kick. So we'll leave it at that. I think we'll just jam out. Let's figure out our jam trajectory. I guess we'll do a pattern chain. So let's go here. I think we'll start with that. And then go right into this one. And then I'm going to say that 10 is our dropout. Then we'll go into 7. The pair back. And then this one should be our one with the vocal. We'll do it one more time. Then we'll go into the bass again. And then we can either do that vocal thing again, but I don't like doing that trick twice. So I think we'll go then just do that. And then 2 of these. And then maybe we end with 2 of that B section again. Let's see how that sounds and we'll go from there. All right, I think that about does it. This should be the path I'm intending, but we'll see. But we'll call it either way. I appreciate you hanging out. I know it's the holidays. It's great that you can join me. And yeah, if you want to get those samples, head to the channel memberships, and the new shirts are there. And then next week we'll do some exploring of the new Quokka, the koala synthesizer. That looks pretty cool. I took like a minute to just check it out before we went live, and it does seem pretty interesting. So we'll talk synth recipes, all that type of stuff next week. But yeah, it's been great hanging out with you. And if you got some value, leave a like. It does help reach some new eyes and all that. Comment when the video's done. Yeah, it is a holiday, so the you know, some people can't watch and all that type of stuff. So it helps YouTube kind of push it to show. So yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. And with that, I'll see you next week. All right, not bad. So there were a couple dropouts and little weird things that I was not expecting. I don't know what. We must have motion recorded some sort of thing or something. But I like it. So yeah, again, these are the vinyls we sampled. Perry Como, Julie Andrews, and Dustin. This is a great album. If you're a fan of Thrice, Dustin does some really cool Christmas albums and stuff like that. Also, Ocho says, you're the 5K. I was hoping we'd hit that 5K. I meant to mention at the start, but I was rushed before we got live. So many things were going on before, but I was hoping we could hit 5K in the live stream, so that's awesome. And the one time, of course, I don't know how we trigger those balloons in the live stream. That would be fitting, but let's just imagine some balloons and whatever else is going on. But awesome. Thank you. They say, literally just found this channel. This is fire. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. And yeah, lots of live streams and videos like this for you to check out. But yeah, so we hit 5K. That's awesome. It means the world to have all of your support. Yeah, so again, Monday I'll have a video breaking down my full workflow for taking loops like this and finishing them, moving them to a DAW and finishing them, and then releasing them. And then Saturday, we're going to check out that Quokka synth from Koala. So lots coming. I hope you all have a great week and a great holidays. If, you know, I don't see you till after the holidays, but yeah, it's been great hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.